don't give a fuck what it takes.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm gonna crucify. Nah, I ain't gonna crucify. That's too good for that motherfucker. I'm gonna stone his bitch ass.
The season finale of Snowfall just concluded, and it was straight fire. Snowfall, hands down, is one of the most riveting and entertaining shows on television, and each season gets better as the drama, danger, and stakes get higher and higher. So for the first time ever, I decided to rewatch the entire season and break down all the hidden messages, subtle foreshadowing, Easter eggs, and more that you might have missed on the first time watch. Now, I found a ton of details, big and small, but for time's sake, I'll only mention the big ones relevant to the plot. If you guys enjoy this and want all the details or previous seasons broken down, drop a like and a comment. 100 likes and I'll start from season 1. Now, I did break this season down into 2 parts because I don't want the video to be extremely long. The season starts with Franklin getting dressed, and that's when he finds this letter from Mel that she gave him in previous seasons. The letter reads, "Franklin, the last couple of months have been strange, but I couldn't stop myself giving you a card like every other year. No matter what, I pray for you every day, and I wish you nothing but happiness. Happy birthday, love, Mel." I couldn't help but point out the irony in him finding this letter in light of all the events that are about to occur, because she doesn't care about his happiness anymore. Louis ran the operation while Franklin was injured, which gave her and Jerome a different perspective on business going forward.
I want to thank y'all keeping this shit going while I've been hurt. No, it ain't been easy.
Franklin points out that Reed is now smoking cigarettes.
What's up? Smoking now.
Yeah. Thought maybe I was getting too healthy.
Which isn't like necessarily a bad thing, but you can look at it as Reed is starting to develop and create new and bad habits. Reed then tries to give Franklin advice on how to handle the Scully and Manboy beef, but they flash back to Franklin trying to intervene, and we get this very interesting scene with Scully and Franklin in the church.
It's Franklin.
If you pause, you can see the creation of Adam painting from Michelangelo framed perfectly behind and in between Scully and Franklin. The painting has been interpreted many different ways, but one thing people ask is if God and Adam are reaching towards one another or pulling apart. If it's towards, that could be the mutual desire of God and humanity for one another. If they're pulling apart, that could be humanity's independence or separation from God. And I think this scene is a symbolism of both. Scully pulling away from Franklin as Franklin is reaching out to Scully. This is an incredible subtle message. Do y'all get the idea that they're painting here for the entire season framework? And at the church is when Scully gets the idea about crucifying people.
How hard you think it was for them to get that Jesus nigga to stay on that cross?
I don't know.
Now, this is a very subtle and brief moment, but this is kind of the beginning of Reed unraveling. Later, when Franklin goes by to set up Scully, you can see a drawing on the wall of a skeleton hanging from a cross. Clearly, he is obsessed with this imagery. But you can also see his daughter and his girl again, because they were also at the church. Just subtle character introduction for the later incidents. Then later, we are introduced to Franklin's soon-to-be girlfriend, and Franklin says this about her.
He was always a girl who knew everyone. Always in the right place, right time.
He was always a girl who knew everyone. Always in the right place, right time.
Then we see Mel for the first time, and she talks to the reporter, which is what leads her to Franklin in the first place. Before the big shootout, Franklin's dad tries to stop him from going, which is his entire mission all season long. But they talk about the Enter the Dragon, and Franklin says,
Legend. Be wise. water, my friend.
Which is a line from Bruce Lee, and he basically means you shouldn't allow yourselves to be trapped in a certain mindset. You should be adaptable, grow, and change. And Franklin does a lot of that in this show, but I think this season, he struggled with that the most. This is the last time we see any signs of affection from Franklin, because their relationship starts to fall apart at this very moment. The first big moment in episode 2 is Franklin going to T after the bot shootout. He used her right then and there to find out about Scully, which is a reference to her knowing everybody.
Thought maybe I don't know you could maybe ask around for me.
Asking around about Scully and them after this shit ain't exactly a good look for me, Franklin.
I know. If there ain't a way to do it that keeps you clean, then don't.
Cutter's baby mama danced at the Lucky Lounge. I might be able to holler at her without it looking suspect.
We should have been suspicious right then and there that she suddenly pops up out of nowhere and is extremely useful to him all of a sudden.
Maybe it was an enemy of yours?
It wasn't random, no.
So these people you anger came after you, and now you live like this, stuck in a chair, unable to feel anything down there.
This conversation at the Tijuana police station was the officer's way of threatening and warning them to do as he said, which ultimately was a huge mistake on his behalf. T actually does have connections, and she finds out that Scully is not dead.
But he ain't dead. Just real mad.
Shit.
You good?
No, do I look fucking good, nigga? Find Franklin sane. I don't give a fuck what it takes.
Let's go. Let's go.
I'm gonna crucify. Nah, I ain't gonna crucify. That's too good for that motherfucker. I'm gonna stone his bitch ass. I'm gonna stone you till you're a piece of shit on the concrete.
Scully's infatuation with the Bible and references in it is very intriguing, because it plays into his total character as it influences his behavior, good and bad, throughout the season. Franklin does everything he can to end this war, from reasoning and logic to setting up an ambush to dirty cops. Nothing works, and that's tough, bro. Yo, this reporter drinks a lot, which makes you question what sorrows is she drowning in? And what sins is she trying to atone for? One way or the other, that bottle contributes to her demise. Leon is struggling trying to get it on his own, and I think that just adds to him wanting to leave and walk away from it all later in the season.
But don't bother us again with this bullshit. Let these animals kill themselves off.
This line right here explains why there's very little police presence in this show. This reporter starts trying to build rapport with Alton through the Black Panther, Fred Hamilton, etc. And she runs this spiel throughout the season. But on second watch, I cannot help but think she has some type of ulterior motive that's not as noble as she tries to make it seem. She tries to play this savior role here, and it actually works.
You okay here? Am I writing a story on police provocation?
Just having a little conversation.
Whew. This scene right here sets up some of the best action in the entire season for me.
What are you doing?
What do you think?
I think you're gonna get yourself killed. I'll handle this. Not this way here. Hey.
Reed and Franklin's similarities are astonishing to me. They always try the well thought out cerebral approach over the emotional heat of the moment, guns a-blazing angle, which is very interesting, but they also both have their downfalls as well. Wanda shows up in an amazing performance, but it's tragic to see her like this. In moments like these, you can actually see Leon has a heart.
Wanda.
I will kick you in your nuts, have you pumped over like a hoe.
Wanda.
What?
What the fuck is wrong with you, huh? You know these niggas don't play.
Hey, Lee. I'm in pain. It's this cheap ass rock you selling us.
What happened to you?
What happened to us, baby?
I gotta go, all right? Just try to act right.
Here's an early sign that Manboy plotting and scheming, looking for any angle to get at Franklin.
Hey, look, man, I remember shit being fine when it was just us three doing business. Franklin get back, shit get shaky.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Have you ever lost someone so close?
Have you ever lost someone so close? Nope, he hasn't. And when he does, he unravels the exact same way. That's crazy foreshadowing.
Whatever this is, the people are dying over it. And other people are going to lengths I have never seen to cover it up. This is the kind of stuff that'll get you killed.
Yo, they literally let her know her fate right here. And I just can't understand why she's so persistent. Anytime you see Leon and Wanda, you see Leon's heart.
Hey, Lee. I got a tooth for sale.
Yeah.
And her being shot is the catalyst to all the pain, trauma, and ultimately the change of heart Leon goes through this season. They really do a good job of humanizing him and making the audience invest in his character. Man, they spent a lot of time in this hospital this season. Jeez. Franklin is clearly uncomfortable around these upper-class black people and even more bothered by the black people serving him. This environment is completely opposite of his hood, but yet he looks at them with the same thoughtfulness. Like, you can tell he is contemplating heavily about his surroundings and his circumstances.
They be checking on gunshots, right?
Nigga, police don't give two fucks about this hospital. Why you think we brought her here?
And that explains why we see a lot of this hospital, man. The oppression in this city and the police corruption is just insane, man. Those are some real life issues right there.
Well, we're doing everything we wanted to do. We're providing safe, affordable housing, extending loans to people in our neighborhoods, bringing ownership back to black homes and businesses back into our neighborhoods, and not to mention single-handedly putting a stop to decades, if not fucking centuries, of systemic racism.
Calm down, Franklin.
I'm calm, but damn, Mama, why's always gotta be a problem? Why's nothing ever good enough?
Because the one promise you made me, the promise I actually need you to keep, you're completely ignoring. I didn't bring Paul Davis into our lives to improve my station. I did it to get you off the street and into legitimate business.
This conversation is centered around, does the ends justify the means? That's a moral question that we all have to face at some point or another. And it's a question that we as an audience have to face as we root for Franklin to win. Again, I think these scenes with Leon and Wanda is what leads to him breaking down so much. Mentally, he's starting to soften up. And I know it's because he loves and cares about Wanda, but this is starting to take a toll on him mentally.
Just stay for the night.
Make them calls. Little Rock interesting. Y'all two go out there. Take a bird, teach him how to rock it up, give him that first taste for free. Same shit
You
we
can
did
see
here.
right here in this moment, Lerp is out.
If he's up for it. That's how we stay safe, stay out of trouble, grow without exposure. It'll work, huh? It'll work.
And T asking for a job and them saying, can they trust her, is literally her trying to be in the right place at the right time and her trying to always be around so she can get any kind of information from Manboy.
Not a problem?
No, just surprised, that's all.
I figure you sleep with her. I can trust her.
And a few scenes later.
Say around 9.
Can't, sir.
All right. Just the morning? You need a whole day?
As far as I go. Done.
What? The fuck you mean, done?
I thought I could handle this. I told myself the money was worth it, but I wasn't prepared for all the bloodshed. I mean, war overseas is one thing. But our people killing each other in our streets? Man, you gotta draw a line somewhere. This is mine.
See, here we go again. Does the ends justify the means? And a lot of people reach their breaking point this season.
This is a federal agent.
Ronald Reagan.
Getting warmer.
Hold on, stop the tape. You can see Reed's photo right here. And this is the moment that everything changes.
Motherfucker.
And in the hood, this is the moment that changed everything. I stand by this. This wasn't Leon's fault, but I see how after all of the emotional experiences he's been through, he took this so hard. I see why now. And it's starting to haunt him, and he just is so remorseful because he's softening up over the season. Yeah, shooting the kid is bad enough, but if you really pay attention to how much they did with his character leading up to this moment, he's broken. Scully and Khadijah both have totally different reactions to this, and it's kind of the human nature. One is full of grief and mentally breaking down, and Khadijah is full of rage and vengeance.
Leon. And when my people fucked up, I made it right. I brought the transgressors right to your doorstep. I'm expecting that same courtesy.
Look, we did everything we could with Leon. But you can't save people from themselves.
Yeah, but we the ones that fucked up with Man Boy and Scully to begin with. You know that, right?
No, Leon been lighting his own fires for the last 3 months. If his ass had just fell in line, he wouldn't be in this shit. He turned his back on all of us, and for what? As far as I'm concerned, this is a Leon problem.
The way I see this, we got 2 options, right? We protect Leon, go to war, or we give him up and prevent one.
Manboy is right, Louis is right, Jerome is right, and somehow Franklin finds a way to save Leon anyway. That's incredible, bro. That's real stand-up stuff. I think Leon went to the streets and then the shelter, obviously out of necessity and needing somewhere to sleep, but also subconsciously, he's starting to put himself in the shoes of others. It's more than just that. Leon's character development is by far the most interesting and my favorite during this season. Yo, on this board, she has Alton, Reed, Jerome, Chrissy, Franklin, Leon, Gustavo's, Mel, her dad. God dang, this lady has pieced together quite the puzzle. That's some investigative journalism right there.
You know what I always respect about you, Saint? You was always about business. You was never personal. Even when I ain't like shit. And he did some fucked up shit, but I could respect it. Cause it was consistent. But now, you break your own rules. And I can't respect that. Hope you got a plan, nigga. Cause when sharks smell blood, they gonna come. Ain't nothing nobody can do to stop it.
Manboy really has some of the best monologues in this show. I love his demeanor at times, and I love this character. But this is episode 1 through 5 for you guys. I found even more details in the second half of the season as the heat turns up. So next week, I'll dive right into those. But
till next time.